And Greyhound's shutdown of the Prairie services hasn't been received well by bus users in the border city. Of the more than 2 million consumers that will feel the impact, thousands reside in this region. Highway 16, which has Lloydminster as the main stop between Edmonton and Saskatoon, is one of the primary routes affected by the decision.
It's very disappointing from the perspective because there are people in our community I know that use the bus.
Many residents rely on the service to get to larger centers for urgent appointments and emergencies.
Maybe family, might be someone that doesn't have a current method of transportation themselves, be it a vehicle. It's going to be a challenge.
Albers says the city will look for direction from the provincial and federal government and hopes that private options open up.
Bus between Edmonton and Calgary that operates. So would they consider Edmonton to Saskatoon route? I don't know. That's something that we'll have to stay tuned for.
The cancellation of service will end in October. The City of Lloydminster completed a 3-year financial review. It was presented at Council at yesterday's Governance and Priorities meeting. The city's Chief Financial Officer made a presentation to Council to allow them to look back at spending over the past 3 years. And Council has now asked for a 5-year review.
Over 5 years, where are we going with reserves? Where are we going with expenditures, revenues, and things like that? So it makes it a snapshot for people to get an understanding of where the city financial situation is.
Mayor Albers said he wasn't surprised by the numbers found in the review.
People know where we're looking at spending money. We also want to help our departments do a better job of budgeting and planning for the future.
Information on the 3-year review can be found on the city's website. The Colonial Days Parade is tomorrow and will include some interesting new floats and will follow a new route. With the construction going on downtown, the route will be altered slightly. The parade will now go down new streets 51st to 55th as well as 47th Street.
This year is actually it's a temporary movement from our typical 48th Street or 49th Street, whatever the one that goes by City Hall. Because of the construction. So it will come down to the corner by the United Church and turn and go back up 50th.
There has also been some questions about how the route goes through by the Grace United Church.
That corner, there are people in the community that are concerned about that corner at 50th and 47th. But we've been reassured by the city that this morning that has been paved and the fences will be down and the parade will go around that corner, absolutely for sure.
Lundquist also added there will be some surprises during the parade tomorrow, but he doesn't want to spoil it. A new interactive art exhibit has taken to the Lloydminster Cultural and Science Centre, commemorating the importance of Canadian involvement in the First World War. Fighting in Flanders, Gas, Mud and Memory is a traveling exhibit from the Canadian War Museum that features pieces of history from Canada's battles in Belgium, specifically from Passchendaele, and
is characterized by the first use of chlorine gas in battle. So the Canadians were the first to experience that and were able to hold the line, so they gained a lot of international recognition at that time. And then Passchendaele is characterized obviously by that muddy trench warfare and trying to get from one side of the field to the other side of the field without drowning in mud, essentially.
On July 17th, a special viewing is being held to remember the 100th year anniversary of the end of the war. Artwork is being displayed at the All Ages event.
To a lot of current events going on, so it kind of brings it home to a lot of the younger generation who didn't witness this firsthand but see it going on in the world. And then it resonates with seniors and our elderly population because they may have known someone who did fight in this war and kind of brings that back for them.
The special event begins at 7 p.m. on the 17th, and the exhibit is in town until September 22nd. It is now time for our daily What's Happening segment. Here is Courtney from the Boom and Wayne FM radio stations with the details.
I'm Courtney Ray from 93.7 Wayne FM and Boom 101.9, and here's what's happening in the Wainwright area. On July 20th, the Czar Lake Bolorama featuring wild pony races and a dance is at Shorncliffe Lake Park. Camping is free the night of the event, but spots go at a first-come, first-served basis. Extra camping spaces are also available in a paid space adjacent to the grounds. Wainwright is still up against Ponoka and Stettler in the Walk and Roll Challenge until August 31st. The Walk and Roll Challenge is a friendly competition to see which town can register the most destinations reached via walking or biking and leaving the car parked at home. Let's get some bragging rights. You can find the link to register your walks on both the Wayne FM and 1019 Boom website under our events tab. The Come By the Hills Music Festival featuring Queen of Scream, Darby Mills, is on August 17th and 18th. The festival grounds are only 20 minutes north of Wainwright, and other acts include Brad Saunders, Steve Strongman, Dan and Laurel, 100 Mile House, and the Deer Hearts. For more details and tickets for the event, go to comebythehills.ca. The Taste of Wainwright is happening on July 19th, an opportunity to sample an amazing variety of cuisine that is all available right here in the area. Food and liquor services begin at 5 p.m. downtown Wainwright. I'll see you at the Beer Gardens. If you have an event you would like us to feature on What's Happening, please email us at waynefm@newcap.ca.
In this week's Pet Project, we have two felines to tell you about. Pablo is a friendly gentleman and Banana loves to cuddle. They are both looking for their forever homes, and here is John from the SPCA.
Colonial Days is right around the corner, and to celebrate, the SPCA will be hosting our Colonial Days Cat Bonanza adoption event from July 12th to 15th. All cats are only $25, and that's a heck of a darn good savings. Pablo is just one of our over 20 cats that will be part of this special promotion. Pablo is just one friendly buckaroo who just adores people. The minute you meet him, he'll lasso you in with his big amber eyes and a loud purr. Pablo would love nothing more than to spend his days on the homestead getting lots of pets and snuggles and plenty of tasty meals. If you're looking for the perfect feline companion, then you just have to meet Pablo. Stop by the SPCA and say hi to him today. Banana is a lovely lass and is as pretty as a sunset on the prairies. She's about as calm as a cat comes. Banana's idea of a perfect day is to lie on her favorite blanket and enjoy a long cat nap. However, once you arrive home, she'll be right at your feet rubbing against your leg and singing you a country song the only way a cat can. Banana would certainly prefer a home where she's the only cat. She doesn't want to share her affection. She's just got too much love to give. Banana's a cat you definitely don't want to miss out on. Be sure to visit the SPCA and meet her today.
This is Newcap Sports.
It's been a long stretch of road games for the Lloydminster Reapers Rugby Club, but Saturday marked the first of 4 straight at home to close out their regular season. A regular season that, as Lance Phillip explains, has been full of highs, lows, and lots of fun.
5 games into their 2018 season, the Reapers Rugby Club owns a 1-3-1 record. Saturday's 38-6 loss to the Nor'westers Athletic Association featured 2 seemingly evenly matched teams, but execution failed the home side on more than one occasion.
That was the biggest thing today, was just the missed opportunities. We definitely had more than enough chances to put the points on the board. It was just, yeah, like you said, it's either a forward pass or a drop pass or throwing it off into left field. It was just little mistakes that cost us today.
Instead of setting up and taking our time and making up a play, we just grab the ball and go. And that was probably our biggest downfall. The odd missed pass, that's never a good thing, but definitely structure.
We had a bunch of new guys on the field, some guys we brought in from high school and a couple guys we haven't really played any games with. And they didn't work as well with the team as our starting lineup. For the first half, we had that everything together, and it worked really well. We moved the ball down the line, we did a couple forward balls, and we got it out to the backs, and we got tries.
Having a team with an influx of young players isn't a bad thing. It's an opportunity to show the future of the league what being a Reaper is all about. You could make the case the future of Reapers rugby depends on it.
We have a few 18-year-olds. Now that high school's out, we got a few young guys that transferred from the Barons and from Cold Lakes High School. and they're making that transition into men's now.
I mean, you can't just play the starters the whole time. Like, the new guys still need experience. So putting them on the field, though you lose, they get better. So the next game when they come on, they don't make as many of the same mistakes.
The new recruits make up a small portion of the team, with the remainder coming from the Cold Lake Penguins. The initiative to combine the two teams provides more bodies in orange jerseys, but presents training challenges.
For the most part, we're gelling pretty well. It's just, like I said, just those little missed opportunities, missed passes. And then there are those little nuances that you get when you're training together that you just learn guys' tendencies a little better.
Numbers at home games seems to be much better because we're not away. Away games is a lot different. It's just now that we're in Lloyd, all the old guys that don't want to travel are definitely coming out to play this year.
I've been trying to keep the same kind of coaching style for both Cold Lake and Lloyd and get the same kind of skill set and same game plan coming in. So if we keep it structured and keep it slowed down and make the plays that we want to make, we're very, very skilled, and we seem to make the plays really well.
The Reapers and Druids are tied for the league's final playoff spot, but that's not the focus. Instead, the fixation is on post-game fellowship and enjoying the sport.
I'm having lots of fun. I don't care if I win or lose. I'd much rather win, but it's still fun playing.
Definitely fun because it's Div 3. I mean, we come out here, we play some rugby, and then we go drink beers with the other teams. So, I mean, get the experience. I love winning. It's fantastic. But if not, I'm still going to have a beer at the end of the game.
And those are words that most senior athletes can get behind. Lance Phillips, Newcap Sports, Lloydminster.
With the growing season in full swing, ag producers are digging into the benefits available under the new Canadian Agriculture Partnership. Ray Orb, president of the Saskatchewan Association of Rural Municipalities, says Saskatchewan has a major stake in this, having over 40% of the agriculture land in Canada.
Well, we need to have safety net programs in place. Agri-stability is an important facet of what farmers need to do to protect their margins, to be able to ensure their margins. They need to take into account, the expenses, the eligible expenses, and the profit that farmers are getting to be able to protect that profit margin.
Orb says an agri-insurance or crop insurance is also important, with about 80% of Saskatchewan's agricultural land insured. Orb switches to the investment side.
So Agri-Invest is an important program as well, where farmers can deposit a certain amount of their eligible net sales. So there is a formula that takes that into account to be able to put that money away for years when things aren't as good on the farm.
Orb says these types of programs, which the province has signed on, will be useful over the lifespan of CAP, which runs for the next 5 years. Orb remains concerned about the spread of clubroot.
Network will be something where the producers will have to keep in contact with those specialists that are out there and the rural municipalities that they suspect, for instance, that they may have a clubroot on their canola, in their canola field. They need to get someone to come out and to confirm that.
Orb says it will take a coordinated team effort in the fight against clubroot.